Naturally Messy Hair here with another music review. I have an idea for future music reviews, that idea being I'll do them on Thursday, and of course it can be part of a new series that I'm going to call Tunes Thursday or something involving the word tunes. Perhaps the word tubular, and of course, most definitely, Thursday. Now let's get this show on the spiraling descent into mediocrity that all of you know and love. But speaking of things that aren't mediocre, we're going to be talking about an album put out by friend of the channel, one Ronnie Alley. Now this is Ronnie's third album. This release is titled UnMade. Now I should note it is something of a compilation album, so while the songs are new to the listener, they are not new recordings necessarily. All the recordings stem from all the way back to 2016 and go as far back as 2018. They're a collection of instrumentals and beats, but in some cases the music has been left somewhat undefined almost. In those cases, or at least the cases that I am speaking of, making reference to, are the three, I'll just call them title tracks, even though they're kind of untitled tracks. The name of the album is, of course, if you didn't see the title of the video, UnMade, and the three songs with that, moniker throughout the album, UnMade intro, UnMade song, UnMade track, make up a sort of unmade trilogy of songs that were for a different musical project that I believe never had lyrics finished for. You have these two songs that are basically the same song tracks out of the loop, and then an alternate version of that track in the loop. They are very interesting numbers, but overall I don't think they stand out entirely that much. They do represent, I believe, some of Ronnie's earlier musical recordings, but I do think the album really kicks off when we have songs like LSD, which, although it is shorter, it is a very interesting, sort of almost interlude present. And then, of course, a song originally titled The Beach Song, which is presented on the album as Heroin/Ecstasy. Ronnie presents it as a twangy acoustic guitar jam, although I would almost describe the sound as more crunchy, but it makes use of, I'm assuming, loops that are reminiscent of things like Sublime, as well as, of course, Beck. Now, I would have to say the three standouts on the album, through and through standouts that I highly recommend you listen to. I mean, I recommend you check out the entire album, but my personal three favorite songs that I think stand up the most, especially in this setting and on repeated listens, are songs like Don't Believe the Hype, and then Agree to Disagree, which is just sort of like this funk adjacent, I wouldn't quite call it a funky kind of song, but it is this song that just drips this kind of charisma. It's a very bassy song. It's very nice, and it pairs very well with a video of Richard Spencer getting Minecrafted in the face with a punch in Minecraft. And then, of course, we have Big Blue, which is Ronnie's attempt to recall the sounds of a Childish Gambino song. For me, at least, it recalled musically a chilled, relaxed 90s song by the band Chibo Mato called Clouds. Now, I don't think Ronnie is aware of this band. I don't think it's an intentional thing, but that is just where my head went. It is reminiscent of a slower kind of song, and it is very groovy. And out of all the songs on this project, I would definitely say Big Blue might just be my favorite, but I do think it is a very interesting kind of compilation of sounds that does track the evolution of the artist currently known as Ronnie Alley. That is just a great exploration of some interesting hip-hop beat sounds that I think you should listen to. I do recommend this album, and it's not just because Ronnie is a friend of the channel. Although that is my train calling me to return to the station, so I bid you farewell.